Letter to a mysterious noble. My beloved, you were right. It seems he would not hesitate to divide the house. What's more, I hear he's considering taking his half of the territory and joining the kingdom. I can't believe he would even consider dragging another region into this, not to mention stirring up trouble over his inheritance. At a time when the alliance desperately needs to unite, he's clearly out of his mind. Though, he bears a major crest, and you a minor crest. Your father was wise in his attempt to declare you his heir. As it were, I can't help but wonder what your intentions with me are. I am drowning in letters proposing marriage to that beast. He may share your face, but the resemblance ends there. I refuse to marry such a foul creature. If you don't come to me soon, I am going to you. Don't forget that my father's blessing could be revoked at any moment. I will depart Deirdre at the end of the lone moon. You had better be prepared for my arrival. I wish to marry you beneath the garland moon. Why? Well, I am a woman after all, and even I harbor dreams of being a garland bride. Understood? Great. Make it so. Claudia, second daughter of House Regan. An antiquated note. A scrap of paper is stuck between the pages of a book. It appears to be incredibly old. Moose meat. Albanian moose is preferable. If unavailable, beef or horse meat may be substituted, though the dish's unique flavor will be somewhat altered. The goddess messenger. Be sure to skin, gut, and clean the fish before use. Xanadu treasure fruit. While difficult to obtain, it is well worth the effort. If necessary, boa fruit may be substituted. Seasoning and spices. Adrestian rock salt, herbs of Fargus, and honey of Leicester are strongly recommended. This is a special dish prepared for the new emperor at ceremonies. Though its ingredients are extremely rare, making it rather expensive, chefs must restrain themselves from sneaking bites during preparations. The Feast of Decadence. The seventh song. Banquet celebrating the marriage of the young Emperor Lycaon III continued until the full moon waned to a half moon. The waitstaff scurried about the castle refilling golden glasses. All present savored the taste of the fine Bacchus from Boromaz, as well as the screams of the northern swordsmen as they were torn apart by wild beasts during the countless dishes on the banquet tables were each overflowing with spectacular offerings. Treats themed after the four saints graced massive platters, just waiting for our greedy fingers to snatch them up. In honor of St. Keyhole, guardian of the land, prime gronder wheat was used to bake endless loaves of delectable bread. In honor of St. Sethleen, savory fish was presented, a dish she is believed to have loved. When the clown dressed as St. Saros decapitated the criminal dressed as Nemesis with a single swing, the spectators cheered with unbridled enthusiasm. A young man, staring at Emperor Wilhelm as he caught the saint and pulled her into a close embrace, suddenly beckoned me. He pressed his lips to my ear and whispered sweet nothings, mirroring Emperor Wilhelm's and St. Saros upon the stage. The date of removal and Sedith's signature follow. It appears to be a novel set in the Undressian Empire. It has sustained great damage, so nothing else is legible. Words of Love. Table of Contents. How to compliment a lover. The art of seduction. The myth of true love's singularity. Gifting Saint Sethleen's love garland. Alone time and greeting the dawn. The date of removal and Sedith's signature follow. It seems this was briefly part of the monastery's library, but all pages are missing save the table of contents. Burnt remnants of a report. Burned papers that resemble a report of some sort. A few passages survived the fire and are still legible. Item 18, Part 5. I harbor doubts about the army Lug has raised. How did he recruit soldiers without raising suspicions in the Empire? How did he acquire those mysterious weapons, so like heroes' relics? What is the true identity of Pan, the tactician rumored to have been integral to Luke's victories, and those who slither in the dark? Item 22, Part 2. The Shadowed Order of the Knights of Saros believes that King Claus I of Fargus was assassinated. Everyone believes that his will, which demands the territory be divided among the three princes and fails to name a successor, is fake. The purpose was likely to involve the lesser region and display a greater military force than the Empire. Item 49, Part 18. The Tragedy of Tusker, after which more members of the Western Church are strongly criticizing the Central Church. Among them are those who claim the incident in Tusker was the work of the Shadowed Order of the Knights of Saros. It seems a confrontation over the dogma's legitimacy is inevitable. Soon, the child of House Gaspard. Item 51, Part 6. Son of the Alliance's leader, Duke Oswald Regan, has died in an accident. This follows an incident involving the previous successor, and even the Knights of Saros suspect it was at Count Gloucester's command, though it seems too conspicuous. There is some concern that this could spark a war. With Duke Regan gravely ill, the situation is... Encyclopedia of Fodlan's Insects. This book's title does not match its contents, suggesting a false cover. It seems to be a catalog of some kind. Distance Viewer, based on glasses. By combining glasses lenses, one can view great distances with enhanced clarity. Crafting such a tool was forbidden by decree of the Archbishop for the following reasons. 1. The ease of locating enemy camps would escalate wartime violence. 2. It would be too easy to snipe from afar. 3. It would lessen the mystery of the goddess who watches from above. Flammable black water. A sticky black liquid was discovered in northern Fargus. It burns fiercely and emits a highly toxic gas. The use of this wicked substance was forbidden by decree of the Archbishop for the following reasons. 1. Misuse could result in accidental death. 2. It could be used tactically by those lacking magical ability. 3. Competition for it could cause strife. Metal mold printing machine. Though initially lauded as a practical replacement for woodblock printing, after careful consideration, the Archbishop deemed it taboo for many reasons, particularly the following. 1. Risk of mass circulation of misinformation and malevolent rumors. 2. It is useless to illiterate commoners. 3. Risk of intensifying disparity between church branches. Human autopsies, especially involving head or chest incisions. Though it is widely believed that this is medically relevant, such actions upon a corpse are considered desecration of the dead. Since white magic can be used to a similar end, autopsies were deemed taboo. A notable cardinal asserted that if medical science were to excel over faith-based white magic, it would destabilize the foundation of the church. Romance of the World's Perdition. In the land of Thinis, where the old gods are said to live, the false god has awakened. Its looming, heteromorphic vessel was resurrected to sink the world to the depths of the ocean. It will bring extinction to all children of men, and salvation to all beasts of the land, sky, and sea. For the children of men who spilled too much of the blood of life, it promises only cruel retribution. The false god must be defeated before the world sinks into a watery grave. To this end, the children of men have erected pillars of light upon the land. Thinis, Malum, Septim, and Lium were utterly destroyed. Those lands have vanished from this world. Yet, even still, the false god stands, and soon, a flood aptly named Despair will drown this world. The children of men fled to the depths of the earth, beyond the sight of the false god, beyond the embrace of the sacred sun, and beyond the reach of the waters of despair. They swore a fervent oath of revenge against the surface world, ruled by beasts, and against their tormentor, the false god. The truth of the hero's relics. I, a priest of the findings of my investigation, when a crest stone was removed while its relic was being wielded by all movement within the relic ceased. When the stone was returned, the relic once again, it is beyond question that crest stones supply their associated relic with power of some kind. The impetus of said power is clearly related to the crest that certain humans possess. Based on the composition of, it can be surmised that likely a massive creature akin to a wyvern. However, strength is beyond compared to that of wyvern bones. They are more durable than all materials other than crucible steel, making them ideal for crafting weaponry and absolutely inhabiting difficult to conceive. But one theory, is it possible that the goddesses have potentially... Heroes' relics have been found that are not linked to the 10 elites. The 10 elites. Could it be that others were gifted this power by the goddess as well? Perhaps the disturbing that the relics were not gifts from the goddess. Additionally, the same crest stones, many of my hypotheses, I am desperate to find the truth of it all. The time has come. I must discard. I dare say the goddess would not wish for me to learn more than I already have. The pages are old and worn, so most of the text is illegible. Fragments of a forgotten memoir. 15. ALL Forest. It has been several months since King Nemesis was defeated, and the tides of war have turned from bad to worse. I have received news that my friend Daphnel has fallen as well, though those zealots are after our heads, and those of our leaders. All that is left for us is to disappear into the muddy waters Saros created. My long life may soon come to an end. 2. Etha Plains. I somehow escaped with my life, but I fear the end is near. Most of my clan has already surrendered to the Empire. To my surprise, I am told their safety is guaranteed. I, however, am a different matter. My life, along with my sacred weapon, will unquestionably be forfeit. My dear son and daughter, I hope you can forgive me one day. 5. Why does Saros despise us so? What did King Nemesis do to incur such unyielding wrath? Perhaps it was a mistake to accept his offer. In any case, that is all in the distant past now. And before this body falls to ash, the evil. The paper is so tattered, the rest is illegible. Mysteries of the Calendar, Volume 2. Much time has passed since the imperial calendar was adopted. In the prior calendar, the year began with what we now call the Guardian Moon and ended with the Ethereal Moon. Back then, the 12 lunar phases were exclusively referred to as months. They came to be known as moons with our current calendar system. Though the prior names of the months are not lost, it is known that Guardian Moon was often shortened to the number 1, Pegasus Moon to be the number 2, and so on until the Ethereal Moon, the 12th and final month. Though inelegant, this was a practical system that apparently served the people of the time well. There is no way of knowing when the old calendar was created. Any attempt to trace its origins leads only to the era of the gods and more unanswered questions. All we know for certain is that the calendar has existed for a nearly incomprehensible length of time. To change a civilization's calendar would inevitably cause great confusion and unrest. Why, then, did Emperor Wilhelm, the first leader of Adrestia, choose to abandon the original calendar in favor of the imperial calendar? Historians have identified several possible reasons for such a drastic measure. 1. The influence of the Church of Saros. The names of the imperial calendar's moons and the associated lore behind them are intimately related to the tenets and saints of the Church of Saros. It is highly probable that basing the new calendar on the teaching of Saros was Emperor Wilhelm's attempt to spread those beliefs on a much wider scale and help legitimize the Church. If this is the case, it is further proof that the Adrestian Empire had close ties to the Church of Saros from the very moment of its inception. Alternatively, it has been posited that the goddess herself wished to change the calendar and voiced this desire through the prophet Saros. This would mean that Emperor Wilhelm simply implemented the change rather than originating it. 2. Asserting authority. Calendars represent the flow of time, and so creating a new one is akin to claiming the dominion over time itself. Shortly after its founding, the Empire used its influence to establish a new calendar, retroactively proclaim its founding year as Year 1. Amid the unification of Fodlan, this move increased imperial authority and heralded the new start of a new era.